Independent. Do you know what that means? She got her own house. She got her own car. Well, I don't remember the rest of that words to this.
All you self-promoters are janky.
Hola mis amores, regreso con otro video. I know you guys are like, did I just click on a Spanish video? Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. My name is Nyra. I am 19 years old and I live completely on my own in a separate state from my immediate family. Own house, own car, full-time job. I'm only 19. I pay all my own bills. I pay my insurance. Everything's on me. I don't rely on my parents for anything. I will help out my parents before I rely on them for money. I am very blessed and very grateful to be in this situation. And I know there are a lot of people like me who want to be in this situation. So I'm gonna do this video. So I'm going to really separate this into 4 steps. It's a lot that goes into it, but just to simplify how I did it and my situation and how you could do it with like the same guidelines, I'm gonna simplify it into 4 steps. Now, the very first step is the hardest, but it doesn't even require any action. It's all mental. The first step is to change your mindset. If you're around my age, you're used to being taken care of. The last 18, 19, 20 years, you've been taken care of. You have been catered to, sheltered. You think you understand bills, but you really don't. It's a lot more complicated than our parents show us. And so now it's time to change your mindset. If you are serious about moving, then you have to stop thinking like a child and start thinking like your own independent person. You are a legal adult now. If you're 18 years old and older, you legally can have your own apartment, have your own house. So act like it if that's what you want to do. It sounds harsh, but it is, and it's the hardest part of this is changing your mindset. Nobody's going to do it for you. Your parents do everything that they can for you when you are under their roof, but it's time for you to be under your own roof. And so now you have to do everything that your parents do for you, and then everything that you do for you. It's time for you to just change your mindset and really comprehend and understand the fact that you have to do everything for yourself. It sucks. Oh my God. I'm not even gonna joke to you guys. It sucks, but it's really worth it. I couldn't imagine not living on my own anymore. The second step is to have a plan, but most importantly, commit to the plan. Commit. Don't half do it. Don't just think about it. Don't just sit around. You have to commit. You can't just think about it. You just have to do it. Moving out on your own, especially at a young age, like I moved out at 19, that is so scary. I moved out from Maryland to North Carolina because the person that I'm with is military. So maybe even consider moving somewhere cheaper. Like if you live in New York, move to, Virginia or something, or move down south, Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina. It's much cheaper here. What I pay for rent here is like crazy cheap to me, so I was like happy to pay it. And I have a 2-story, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. You have to have a plan and you have to absolutely commit, even though it's scary. It's never gonna feel like the right time. Don't wait for the right time. The right time is not gonna come because you've been sheltered your whole life. You've never had to feel like, okay, I need to make this move right now. So you have to create the right time. It's not gonna just prevent itself. You have to work and you have to have a plan. You have to say, okay, let's say even if you're staying in the same state, you have to go, I'm going to get a job here that's going to pay me this much so that I can afford rent here and I can actually afford to live here comfortably. You have to actually plan that out. If you want to pay $1,000 a month for rent, then you have to go, okay, I want to get this job for $17, $18, $19, $20 an hour so I can be comfortable. I can get a car, or I can continue to pay for my car. You have to really think this stuff out. Because you're not just paying for rent, you're paying for utilities. If you already have a car, you have to continue paying your car note and your car insurance. And if not, and you expect to acquire those things, you have to make sure that you're being well compensated by your job. Also, you have to maybe switch jobs. Maybe you need to be getting paid more. Now, look on Indeed, look on Monster Jobs, look wherever you need to look. talk to a friend, think about jobs that you don't even think about on a normal basis. You know, there's somebody that has to do everything. I get paid very well at my age because I'm an optician. I work with contacts and glasses. A lot of people my age wouldn't even like think to apply for a job like that. You know what I mean? But, you know, every single place that you go when you are serviced, even places you go that you're not serviced, there's someone that is behind that doing that job. So think outside the box. You'll be surprised how well people get paid. If you want to get paid a little bit more, maybe do something that's like kind of medical, so you know it's like a job that is secure with like a consistent good paycheck. Maybe try to be like a receptionist at a doctor's office or something. Like, do what I did. I'm an optician. Go to an eyeglasses place or an eye doctor, see if they're hiring for opticians. Even if you're not experienced, a lot of places will teach you. You get hourly and you get really good commission because you're selling the contacts and glasses. So yeah. You might have to think outside the box a little bit when it comes to getting a good paying job. Unless there are a lot of young people that do like to get degrees early now. So if you have a degree, you know, do something involving with your degree. If you're still planning to go to school, make sure that you get a job that's flexible around your hours. You know, just plan really well. But more importantly than the planning, commit. Don't just say, I'm going to find a job for $20 an hour. You work tirelessly until you have a job that's $20 an hour, because if you don't work for it, it's not going to come to you. Nobody else will do it for you. You have to get up and do it. Okay, so you have a plan now. You've committed to the plan. You know where you want to live, how much rent you can afford. You have a job that's going to be paying you well enough for you to live on your own. But saving money. At our age, we do not have good saving skills. Millennials are not good at saving because the cost of living is super high. We're kind of drowning out here. If you plan to keep a steady source of income, don't freak out about saving. You want to have a few $100s saved at the very least, and that's not even a lot of money, but you want to have a few $100s saved at the very least, so that, you know, in the case of an absolute emergency, you have it. But if you plan to keep a steady source of income, then you shouldn't freak out about saving. Maybe get a job that pays you enough for you to move out before you actually move out, so that you can be getting the steady income while you're getting all that money before you have to pay rent and pay bills. Stack that, and then once you move, you'll have a little bit of savings. You know what I mean? Even if you're moving from one state to another, travel to the state you're trying to move to on off days, use PTO time, go do interviews in that state so that you can go right from one job to the next. That way you don't have to freak out about having savings. If you have a steady income coming, there's no reason to go, I need to save $7,000 before I move out. That ain't realistic in this economic climate. You can't save $7,000 before you move out. You just gotta go for it. I kind of just had to take the leap with a few $100s saved, and I was like, the Lord will provide for me. I know everybody's not religious, but I'm saying that's what I did. Don't freak out about savings, because then, like I said, it'll never feel like the right time. And lastly, don't get overwhelmed. I've been living on my own for almost a year now, and because I'm far from my family, I get so overwhelmed. Like, this is my first time having my own place, having to pay all these bills, and my first time having a car. So I get overwhelmed because I always need to do something to my car, or my car insurance, like the payments are weird, or I have to pay rent, but I was traveling, so this paycheck is short. It's like, you cannot get overwhelmed. Obviously, you will get overwhelmed. What I mean by that is, don't allow that to cripple you. Do not let the fact that you're overwhelmed, or you get in a situation you're overwhelmed and so you want to quit and run back home and ruin your credit. Or don't let the fact that the process building up to it is overwhelming scare you off. Everything in life is going to be overwhelming as an adult. Like, literally, getting a new job, getting a new house, getting a new car, a new relationship, new friendships. Sometimes going to the grocery store is overwhelming. Paul and I went grocery shopping the other day, and I was so overwhelmed. Like, everything is overwhelming when you're an adult until you learn how to cope with it. I'm still learning how to cope, and I know that one day I'll be much calmer. But but everything is overwhelming, and so you running from it is not going to change anything. As long as you change your mindset to the right place, commit to your plan, you don't freak out about saving money so that you can use that as a way to procrastinate moving out. As long as you do those things, there's like no reason to allow the fact that it's overwhelming to stifle your decision to move out. It is very doable. It is very possible. Do people look at me crazy when, you know, you're 19 and you're walking somewhere that's considered like, you know, luxury apartments or something, and you're applying for it? Yeah, they're gonna kind of side-eye you. When you're applying for these well-paying jobs at such a young age, they're gonna kind of side-eye you. But when you nail your interviews and when your credit score is good enough, and oh, wait. Let's talk about credit real quick. A lot of us don't have credit. A lot of millennials around our age, 18, 19, 20, even 21, don't have credit. We don't have credit cards. We don't have parents that had credit in our names as we were growing up to help build us. I moved out with no credit, without thousands of dollars in my savings, without having any renting history, none of that. If you go somewhere and you have pay stubs to show I can afford this rent and I can afford, you know, the utilities that I'll have to be paying here, they're gonna let you in even if you don't have credit. And that is with most places. You can't go get a mansion, but you can go get an apartment, you can go get a townhouse. Sometimes even if you're renting a privately owned house, you can get in without having credit, because a lot of us don't have credit because millennials are not built like that. You know, things are just different now and it's harder for us. INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? She got a home. She got a home cup. Well, I don't remember the rest of the words to this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that I inspired somebody, gave you some tips, you know, helped you feel like you can finally move out of your mama house. If you like this video, leave me a like and a comment down below and subscribe for more videos like this one. I'll see you next video.
Yeah. All you self-promoters are janky. We established like the Yankees. This whole fucking game thankless. We moving militant, but somehow you the one tanking. No limit to where I could take it. And you know me as a crisp bottle sender, check picker upper. I thought we looked out for one another. Saw us all as brothers in the struggle, too blessed to be humble. I guess it's different in the city I come from.